What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome to another video. So the other day, somebody commented in one of our videos and said, hey, can you create a video and talk about how to build a business while also working a 9 to 5? And so what I did is I just jotted down 10 ideas, 10 steps that you can use if you're currently working a W-2 to also start working on your side hustle, start building this thing on the side. Because I actually think it's a really bad idea to just jump full bore into the world of entrepreneurship. If you do not already have skills, if you do not already have cash reserves, if you do not already have proof of concept, it's actually the wrong move to burn all your boats and just jump full-fledged, like 2 feet into the deep end of entrepreneurship, because the game of entrepreneurship is already hard enough as is. You don't need to compound the difficulty by including all the financial woes of like, is this or isn't this going to work? Better is to keep your W-2 job, build this thing on the side to prove and build proof of concept until this thing can replace this thing. Then it's just a matter of jumping ship and it becomes very, very simple. So do not jump all the way in. Instead, while working your 9 to 5, you need to figure out how to also work from 5 to 9. It's what you do from 5 to 9 every day that's going to dictate your success. Now, I'm not just talking about 5 in the evening till 9 at night. I'm also talking about like 5 in the morning. And that's the very first thing, is that you need to be waking up early and dedicating the first hours of your day to working on your dream. There's no other way around this. Like if you're waking up, if you have to be at work at 8 a.m. and you're waking up at 7 and then going straight to work, and the first hours of your day are spent working on somebody else's dream, then you're going to have a very hard time ever building meaningful momentum and traction. Now, if you have a family, if you have kids, that might mean you have to wake up really damn early. That might mean there's a season of your life now where you have to wake up every day at 5 a.m. or maybe 4 a.m., right? It differs for everybody, but the most important thing I can say is figure out how to wake up wake up early enough so that you have a full dedicated 60 to 90 minutes that you can put towards working on this dream of yours. Now, this should be the most important work that you do, like the highest value. I'm going to talk about what that work is in a second, but let's go to lesson number 2 real quick, which is the bookend to this. Start your day working on this dream and then end your day working on the dream. So what this looks like is wake up early, spend the first hour working on this thing, then go do your 9 to 5, live the rest of your life. But always finish the day working on the dream. That doesn't have to be the most important work. It could be moving just some small balls forward, doing admin or whatever. But you need to leverage what's called the recency bias. Like in psychological terms, it's cognitive bias that says like we remember the things that we do first and the things that we do last throughout the day. That is going to reinforce in your subconscious that this thing that you're building first and last in the day is the most important thing, not the thing that's happening in the middle. And it's really important because you're not going to be able to dedicate as much time to this side hustle as you do to your main thing. And what you need to start doing is programming in your mind that what you do outside of work is more important than what you do inside of work. And that's hard because the majority of your hours in the day are spent not working on this thing. And so what we can do is we can start to use these subtle little psychological hacks of like starting the day and ending the day with the dream. That's lesson number 1, idea number 2. Idea number 3 is that you need to get crystal clear about what it is you need to be working on to move forward. So becoming a master of the theory of constraints. When I said like wake up in the morning and work on the most important thing, I'm not telling you, hey, that's always this thing. You need to be able to discern at the different point in your journey, what is that thing that is the most important, and then work on that thing. You are going to progress so much more quickly if you just figure out what is the single ball that is the most important to push forward and then put all of your effort into that. The people that will not heed this, they will spread their energies across too many disparate tasks. And like the sun that's casting its rays in like 365 degrees in all directions, it's powerful, but it's not going to cut through anything. You need to focus your energies like a laser beam and cut through to actually make progress, because you only have a limited amount of time. You can't afford to be wasting any of it. So you need to have some kind of process to figure out what is the most important thing at any given moment for me to be working on. We've done other videos on the channel in the past where we talk about prioritization techniques. Go watch those. We run through a couple of different ideas that you can use. All right, but generally speaking, rule number 4, idea number 4, is that you need to be splitting your time as an entrepreneur at all different levels between getting leads, making offers, delivering your service, and keeping customers happy. right? So get people to know who you are, get them to say yes to your product, deliver the product to them, and then make them happy, right? Keep them around, make them happy. Those are the 4 things that you need to be spending all your time on. In the beginning, you probably don't spend much time on those last 2, like delivering the product and keeping customers happy, because you don't have very many customers yet, which means you need to spend a disproportionate amount of your time getting leads and making offers. That's pretty much your entrepreneurial journey for the first 1 year. Like just reaching out, cold outreach or emails or organic content, paid advertising, like just getting really, really good at how to get leads and just doing that over and over and over. So the first hour of your day, the last hour of your day is just spent on that until you start getting so many customers that you now have to figure out how to balance those things. That's a problem for a different day. It's a good problem to have. But we're not going to worry about it if you're still in your W-2. At that point, as you start to that's how you can kind of recognize when it's time to maybe make a jump from your W-2, by the way, is like, okay, I have enough leads and I have too many customers to service now. I don't have enough time in the day to do these things anymore. Oh, sweet. Now you can leave your W-2 because you have enough leads to bring in new customers to backfill your calendar. Like that's a really good position to be in. Now, idea, I think number 5. Let's go with number 5 is that done is better than perfect. So whatever the thing is that you're working on, a lot of times we pursue perfection and we get into this procrastination cycle where we just keep going over and over and over the same thing, but never actually shipping it out into the world. And so this might most clearly manifest itself when you're working on a product. You're like, I need to make this the best damn coaching program or best damn course in the world. There's a really big YouTuber that Anuj and I like to talk about, who's just launched his course after like 3 years of working on it. And it's like, dude, you should have launched that like 2 years ago. What are you doing? And it's really interesting because his YouTube, he's a very big YouTuber, used to get tons of views. And then he went cold for, a year and while he was working on this course, and now he's come back and those views aren't there anymore. And it's like, gosh, strike while the iron's hot, because done is better than perfect. So number 6 actually is, you have a business the moment you have a customer. You don't have a business when you're making the product. That's not, you have a hobby. It's probably costing you a lot of money. You have a business the moment somebody gives you money in exchange for your product or service. So do everything in your power to get customers. Like even before you have a fully fleshed out product, like just go and get people to agree to the premise of the idea, the premise of the product, the premise of the service, get them to give you money, and then figure out the product as you go. I know that sounds backwards, but I'm telling you, you will progress and make more progress. Like if you first get customers and then fine tune the product, rather than fine tuning a product and then taking it to market only to realize, oh, people don't actually want this thing. That's the worst case mistake that you can possibly make. All right, number 7, I think. You guys are seeing me try to keep count in real time as I like jump all around my list here. Number 7 is find a high value skill that most closely aligns with your natural skills, and then drill down into that to get wicked good, right? So like, as you're trying to figure out what is the product, right? Who are these customers I should be bringing in? Start by figuring out what are high value skills that people are willing to pay for. Usually the highest value ones are people are willing to pay to make more money, to lose weight, or to gain status. So make a product that does one of those 3 things that most closely aligns with your natural predilection. So if you are a fit person, you could probably help people get fit, right? If nothing else, you look fit. And so like that doesn't hurt. If you know how to, if you're like a great bookkeeper, a great accountant for construction companies, cool. That's a skill that those companies would pay a lot for. So you take that high value skill that you have some natural predilection in, maybe you've worked in that industry in the past, you have a unique advantage, and then you figure out, how do I package that thing? And how do I get wicked good at it? How do I become the best in the world at bookkeeping for construction companies? Focus on just that. The money will follow. Number 8. Figure out how to get leads for your particular business and then get great at it. Like in the beginning, you don't need to have 20 different acquisition channels. You don't need to be on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You don't need to be running billboards and bus stop bench ads. Like, you just need to figure out where is your avatar and what is the best way, given your skills and resources, to get in front of them and make them aware that you can help them. So if you are bookkeeping for construction companies, that could be LinkedIn. That could be Instagram. It could just be going and knocking on the door of local construction companies in your town. Like, door-to-door knocking is a form of lead acquisition, right? But you want to figure out what is your method that you're going to use and then go hard at that. Whether that's organic content, that's paid advertising, that's door knocking, it's cold outreach, doesn't matter. Pick one. Find your avatar and then do everything in your power to become a master at that. Because once you master that skill of how to attract leads for your particular service, you now have the ability to print money. Now it's just a matter of doing that thing more. It's a great skill to have. It will never fail you. Number 9, create an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no, right? That's straight from Hormozy. But effectively what this boils down to when you're first starting out is you need to remove risk and increase the perceived likelihood of success. So how can you get in front of that construction company? You want to go, teach them bookkeeping, and I don't know, like, exactly what that looks like for you. But how can you decrease the perceived risk in their mind, increase the likelihood of success? That's all it comes down to when you're making an offer. If they come in and they're like, there's no downside here, because if you come in and after 30 days you haven't saved us X number of dollars, you're going to pay us $100,000. That sounds pretty great to me, right? If you come in and you have all this social proof because you've been working in the industry, you have this proven method that you've helped other people use to make this money. They come in and they're like, yeah, it seems like the likelihood that this will work is high. There's really low downside, because even if it doesn't work out, they're still going to give me money. I don't know. That's how you craft an offer. Now, I'm not saying you should come out of pocket and give people hundreds of thousands of dollars if you fail to deliver the thing, but you want to think about it from their perspective. What is causing them to not want to move forward with you? It's because they don't believe that you can do the thing that you say you can, or they don't believe the thing that you say you can do is as worthwhile or valuable as you're saying it is. So figure out how to craft your offer around those two ideas. Remove risk, increase reward. Number 10, last and not least, is your business will survive or fail based on how far above your customers' expectations you go. So our rule of thumb at Escape when we were building there was our expectations need to always be 15% higher than the customer's expectations of us. Because the customer, they're going to come in with their baseline, right? They're like, this is what, when I buy your product, what I expect. But if we go 15% above that, then we were always, if that's our baseline expectation, then we're always going above and beyond. They're always going to be happy. They're always going to be excited. And so next time they come to buy, they're gonna have this higher expectation, right? Now that's the loop that you have to be aware of. When a customer comes in for the first time, they have an expectation that this is going to be what you deliver. And if you deliver this, that becomes their new baseline. So the next time, if you deliver what you delivered the first time, it's meeting their expectations, no longer exceeding. And so this is a process that you have to continually be reevaluating every week, every month, every year, is saying okay, here's how we did it last year. How can we do it better now? How can we do this better moving forward? Because if you don't do that, then you are sliding backwards in your customers' minds. And that right there is 10 ideas that you can use to build your 9-to-5 or rather build your empire while working a 9-to-5. The 3 most important skills, if I was to boil this all down, by the way, is energy management. So not just time management, not just the ability to manage what tasks you're doing when, but managing your energy states for those activities to align them. So when you wake up early in the morning, figuring out how to maximize and optimize your energy state so that the work you do with that 1 hour before you go do the rest of your life is super high quality. That's skill number 1. Skill number 2 is the ability to focus. So you sit down, you're in a great energy state, but how do you actually focus to stay on task and not get distracted? That's skill number 2. Skill number 3 is discipline, because you can have the best energy in the world, but you wake up early and you don't feel like sitting down to do the work, then the work's not going to get done. So you have to find the the combination of discipline to show up and do the work, focus to stay locked in on the work, and then energy management to ensure that when you're doing the work, you're in the best energy state possible. You do those 3 things on a long enough time frame, along with these other 10 ideas that we talked about in this video, you will find success eventually. So let me know down in the comments, guys, what did you take away from today's episode? What'd you like the most? What'd you hear? What'd you learn? And I will see you guys in the next one.